Hello, welcome along to a brand new Chairboys Live, Sunday the 28th of February. My name's Dan Simpson. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us instead of Sky, just for the moment. We really appreciate it. Now listen, as always with Chairboys Live, let me know where you are. Let me know where you're watching from. Pop it in the comments. I'll pick it up. We will say hello. It's Wycombe taking on Norwich City on the back of a fantastic, gritty, proper, Wycombe performance on Tuesday. Fantastic 1-0 win with down to 10 men as well. And listen, was it just me, or did you start to get that feeling after that game? I know it's the hope that kills you, but after such a determined, resolute performance, I started to think, hang on, this might be on. It might be doable. Is the Great Escape happening? Who knows? I mean, a result today, and I'm calling it, it is on. It'll be a tough one today, though. It's Norwich. It's top versus bottom. It's a team that have won only 5 all season, taking on a team that have lost only 5 all season. Norwich have won their last 4 in a row. 67 points in the league. It'll be a huge, monumental feat. I think we've got it in us. Yeah, I don't want to speak too soon. I know it's the hope that kills you, but I reckon it's on. So we'll keep you busy for the next half an hour or so. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff. By the way, I hope you weren't as surprised as I was by the 12 o'clock kickoff. You might have seen me absolutely speeding it down the Westway about 8 o'clock this morning when I realised that it wasn't a Saturday. So with that in mind, if we do pick up a result today, it will be an upset, top versus bottom. So here's what I want to see from you in the comments as well. What are your favourite Wycombe upsets that we've been part of? There are a few we could talk about. I want to hear yours. For me, it was the Chesterfield result back in League 2, 2014. Chesterfield came here at the top of the league. We were at the bottom. A Max Kretschmar penalty, and we managed to take all 3 points. And look at the Great Escape that happened that season. Who knows what we're on? Stick yours in the comments below, your favourite upsets. We will keep you busy for the next half hour. We'll chat to Gaz. We'll chat to Moose from TalkSport as well. He'll be on, letting us know how he's seen the Championship this season. And we'll get the team news in just a sec. Very quickly, hello to Aaron, who is watching us down under. Good day. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday night with us over there. Thank you very much. Also, hello to Michael from Denmark. Thank you for being with us, Michael. And also, who have we got? Matty, who's in Hertfordshire. Not quite Denmark or Australia, not as far away, but still a lovely place to be spending your Sunday. Thank you very much for being with us, Matty. Right, first versus bottom versus 24th, top versus bottom. Let's get the team news then. You can see it below. Here's Tom Baldwin, who's in Wycombe, who's at Adams Park today. Hello, Tom.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Dan. How are you doing?
It's amazing to say good morning, isn't it, before a game of football? Listen, we can see the team news below after a hugely gritty, proper Ainsworth performance on Tuesday. Talk us through how we line up this afternoon.
Yeah, so welcome back to Adams Park, where it's pretty much scorching hot, although I do wear my jacket. With bright sunshine as we face Norwich in the early kickoff encounter. We come into the game off the back, mentioned there earlier on. We are now one of the informed sides in the division. And today we are facing top of the table Norwich City. I'll briefly touch on that Reading result because, of course, Fred Onyedima's goal separated the sides that evening. It was a game that had everything. We were able to finally take 3 points away from that game against a team who were pretty much well and truly battling for promotion to the Premier League. And I felt personally, it was a fantastic example of the team's desire, work rate, and of course, our world famous game management. So on today to Norwich City, they are 4 points ahead at the top of the table, and they just managed to beat us in the reverse fixture after winning a relatively dubious free kick in the 91st minute, where Mario Rancic fired into the back of the net. And so, yeah, after an early start that day, I actually felt we really came into that game. And in the end, we got a goal through Scott Kashkep, as I mentioned there. We weren't able to come away with any points. And it is worth mentioning, Timu Pukki scored against us that day. He's certainly the man to be watching out for this afternoon when we do kick off. He's currently the 3rd highest goal scorer in the league. And impressively, I found this out, since the start of the 2018-19 season, he's scored the most championship goals, and he wasn't even in the league for a year. So this bloke is absolutely on fire. So getting into the team news today, we make one change, and there's only one enforced change. Don Gate comes in for the suspended Ryan Tafazoli, who I'm reliably informed is only out for a game because it wasn't due to violent conduct. It also looks like Josh Knight returns to centre-back with Taff coming out. And I'm also delighted to say that Joe Jacobson and Adebayo Akinfenwa are edging closer to full fitness as the players come out in front of me. So they make the bench today. And in terms of other key headlines, Anis Mehmeti starts today against his former club after leaving Norwich City's academy back in 2019. And it's also Uche Ikpeazu's birthday today, so he'll be hoping to get onto the score sheet to celebrate what could be a great game today.
It's a slight shame, I find, that Knight might be moving back into centre half. Our kind of late resurgence over the last few games, really, I feel, is because of one of the reasons is the dominating midfield performances of Josh Knight. I mean, Dom Gape is obviously a hero for the Chairboys. He's a fantastic player. But he's been injured for quite a substantial part of the season. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with that midfield, whether he can kind of run the show as much as Josh Knight has been doing recently, Tom.
Yeah, you mentioned there Dom Gape's injuries. He's sort of been, unfortunately, plagued with injuries this season. He actually started off this season, if I remember correctly, and he started quite well. And then we had Curtis Thompson coming in. We've had quite a few people in the centre of the pitch, to be honest. And then Josh Knight very recently came in. He, of course, got that goal against Huddersfield. And he sort of cemented his place there. But since Tafazoli and Stewart have been able to really cement their positions at centre-back, it's meant that Josh Knight's been able to push forward. And obviously now Taff comes out, Josh moves back, and we're able to get Dom Gape back in there. So I expect great things from Dom Gape. He's, as you said there, he's a Chairboys legend. He's been around for ages, and I'm sure he'll be able to produce some great moves today. And as you mentioned there about Dom Gape's injuries. Norwich do themselves have quite a few injuries today as well. Todd Cantwell's out, who most people remember from the Premier League last year. He joins a long list of players such as Josh Martin, Sam Byram, Michael McGovern, who all miss out today. And so, everyone's kind of plagued with injuries, but to be honest, I look forward to seeing how Dom Gape performs today.
You mentioned Norwich injuries. I know there was some talk in the week that maybe the Canaries would bring a slightly weakened team to the bottom of the league, but I mean, they look like they're heading into it with a strong showing. They really want to try and surge and cement their place at the top of the league. Just talk us through the key players that we might see for Norwich in your eyes there, Tom.
Yeah, you mentioned there it's going to be, Norwich don't take any game lightly. They've got Brentford coming up next, so it's a huge game at the top of the table. So maybe some people thought they would, play a rotated side against Wycombe, but that of course is not going to happen. They have full respect for this Wycombe side, and they come with a really strong lineup. Ben Gibson and Nel Fernandez returning this afternoon for the Canaries after being out injured for quite some time. I mentioned earlier Timu Puki. He, of course, just scores goals for fun occasionally. And Oliver Skipp, he's former Tottenham, or he's current Tottenham. He's on loan from the North London club, and he'll be starting in centre midfield today. They, of course, have Max Aarons, who was a fantastic right back in the Premier League last season for them. Tim Krul, former Newcastle and Brighton experience. Grant Hanley, former Blackburn. Emi Buendia was one of the players of the season last year, and he certainly continued that form coming into this season in the Championship. And so, there's just tons of Premier League experience, tons of experience in general from this Norwich side. But this Wycombe side have shown that they can go toe to toe with anyone in this league, and I expect this.
Oh, we seem to be slightly losing Tom there. I think we'll let him drop out anyway, which is a shame. But Tom, thank you so much for coming on Chairboys Live. Listen, I'm after your big upsets. I mean, if Wycombe do get a result today, we're taking on top of the league. You have to class that as an upset. So I want to hear from you. And the Wycombe versus Oxford playoff final is what's kind of littering the comments at the moment. Susie Voice, hello to Baldwin GT as well. Was that really an upset? We were both in the playoff positions. I mean, different fans around the country will have their own views on why we were in the playoff positions, but we were there. We made the final. Can you really class a playoff final, one team beating the other, to be an upset? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know your favourite Wycombe upset in the comments below. Now, remember, we can't have fans here today, and one of the things we do miss more than many other things is mascots being on the pitch. But we're doing the next best thing. You can sign up if there is someone you want to know that wants to be a virtual mascot. Let us know. Get to wwfc.com. You get loads of stuff included in that. Today we have virtual mascots. Hello to Dylan. Hello Noah. Hello Molly. And hello Maxie as well. I think my favourite grin of those four is probably Dylan. Dylan, you've won the grin competition. Thank you so much, mate. You get a lot of things for being a virtual mascot. Sign up, wwfc.com. One of those is you get to grill a Chairboys star. Today, our virtual mascots have been posing questions to the man with a wand of a left foot, our very own Joe Jacobson.
How did it feel when you beat Oxford?
Good question. It was probably the best feeling I've ever had on a football pitch. We had a great season. To finish it at Wembley, to get the win, to get promoted. It was a great feeling. We had good celebrations afterwards. So that's probably my favourite ever match I played in.
Who's your favourite player, Noah?
Joe Jacobson.
Yeah, good answer.
I like that. And what do you think the score is going to be today, Noah?
2-0.
2-0 to Wycombe. Yeah, we'd love that, wouldn't we? Great stuff. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's see who else we've got.
Thanks, Noah.
Do we have Dylan? You can give us a wave, Dylan. Hi, Dylan. How are you doing?
Good.
Hello.
Cool. Can you let us know your age, your favourite book, and a question for Joe?
I am 8 years old, and my favourite book is probably the Frank Lampard books. And
Are they the children's books he's written?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't got those.
Who inspired you to be a defender?
I'll be honest, I didn't want to be a defender when I was younger. I always wanted to be a striker. They're the ones who score the goals, get all the credit. Everyone loves the strikers. And I just got put further back as I got older, and found a position that I thought I was good at. And the coaches, when I was younger, thought I was good at. And that's where I've just been for the last 15 years or so. And I actually quite like it now. I enjoy defending. I like stopping other teams scoring. I like tackling. I like heading the ball. So some of the stuff that people don't normally like doing, I quite enjoy it. And I like coming off the pitch after we've got a clean sheet. That I get more satisfaction from that than I do from scoring a goal, let's say.
And who's your favourite player, Dylan?
You, Joe Jacobson.
Thank you very much.
This is going
Good
well.
answer.
And what's your score prediction today? It'll be a tough one, won't it, against Norwich, but are you confident?
Yeah, I'd say about 3-0 Wycombe.
Oh, easy win. Who's going to score?
Uche, Jacobson, and Casket if he plays.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, good prediction.
Great stuff. Well, thank you again for joining us as a virtual mascot today. Let's welcome Molly, who's sitting there very patiently in a fantastic red and white quarter shirt. How are you doing, Molly?
Good.
Good.
So since you are Welsh and I'm English, if the Welsh dragon and the English dragon had a fight, who would win?
Well, I think the Welsh dragon and the English dragon had a little fight yesterday, didn't they, on a rugby pitch? So let's talk about that if you want. And the Welsh dragon came roaring to victory. So definitely the Welsh dragon. Wales are always like the underdogs against England, and like Wycombe, we're always the underdogs as well a lot of the time. So normally you grow in stature and you become bigger than what you actually are. So I'd definitely go for the Wycombe dragon. No, and the Wales dragon, sorry. got mixed up then. The Wycombe dragon wins as well.
Yeah. Molly, who's your favourite player? I think I know the answer to that one. And what do you think the score's going to be today? Ryan Allsop, yeah.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, good player.
And your score prediction, Molly?
2-1.
2-1. We'll take that.
Yeah, all wins. Good.
Fantastic. And do we have Maxie there?
Yeah.
Hi, Maxie. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Love the scarf you got on.
And have you got your sister with you as well? What's your sister's name?
My sister's name is Violet.
Violet.
Hello.
Lovely name.
Hi, Violet.
Do you guys have a favourite book?
Grandpa's Great Escape.
Ooh.
Okay.
And do you have a question for Joe, Maxie?
What is your favourite player of all time?
Ooh. It's a tough one. I'm going to say Ronaldo. I just think what he's done, all the records he's broken, to keep doing it at his age and to keep being the best and wanting to be the best, I think it shows that hard work definitely pays off. And he's an inspiration to a lot of other people, not just in football, but in other sports, who he just works and works and works. And in the end, he gets the results that he deserves. And, I don't see him stopping anytime soon. So for me, he's been a huge inspiration on me. And to top on that, he's a fantastic player as well.
There you go. Our virtual mascot's chatting to Chairboy's hero, wonderful effort, Joe Jacobson. If you'd like to be a virtual mascot, if you want that for someone in your family, here's what you need to do. wwfc.com. That's what you get. You could be on a Chairboys Live in the future, asking questions to your favourite players. Lovely to hear about their favourite books as well. It's obviously World Book Day this week. And a very happy St. David's Day to Joe Jacobson for tomorrow, and to anyone Welsh watching, happy St. David's Day for tomorrow. And let's forget about the result yesterday, shall we? Right now, you might have seen this time last week a little furore happening on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that, because a journalist had the ferocious audacity to ask David Stockdale whether he thought we were in a relegation battle. I was disgusted at the man. So we've invited him on Chairboys Live to defend himself. From TalkSport, it's Moose Ian Abrahams. Thank you for joining us, Moose.
Hi, how are you? You're right. I actually didn't ask him whether they're in a relegation battle. I said, when you get relegated, are you planning the rest of this season to start next season in a positive vibe? So it wasn't even about being in a relegation battle. It was more about when you get relegated.
So we're already gone. I mean, I know you've seen loads and loads and loads of Wycombe this season, Moose. What have you kind of made of the club? Are we where we are for a reason? Have we been a bit unlucky in some matches? Talk us through how you've seen it.
I think you're a fantastic club. I want to pay tribute to the people that own and run the club. I want to pay tribute to the players. I want to pay tribute to the media staff, who it hasn't been easy in these times to look after the media and put the media up in a safe environment. Yes, you've been a bit unlucky. I haven't seen you outclassed in a game. I've seen a lot of Wycombe games. I think you've been very unlucky. I don't think you can always say when you go down or when you don't succeed that it's down to luck. I think to a certain extent the old adage is that luck evens itself out. I'm not sure that's quite the case this season. Take the Derby game where you lost in the last minute, you deserve to win that game. But realistically, I think that Wycombe will play League One football next year. That's what I was asking David Stockdale. There's no point in me going to David Stockdale after what was a really boring game. 0-0 at Millwall, and a point not being actually enough. I mean, I felt you needed to win that game. By trying to say, listen, it's a great point, and maybe the great escape kickstarts here. I could have said that, and probably did say that the other night to Gareth McCleary, but you need to carry that on today, and this is a really difficult game today. But it doesn't mean I'm being disrespectful to David, to Gareth, or to any of the players here. I think they've done they did an amazing job in getting promoted. I think they've done an amazing job in still being in the conversation about whether or not they're in a relegation battle they could stay up. I absolutely do. And I think you have been very unlucky this year, 100%.
Well, let's kind of ask you the question that you asked Stocko then. So if things don't go our way, if the great escape does not happen, do you feel from all the amount of football that you've seen that we are in a strong position to kind of bounce straight back? Will we mix it up at the top of League One? It's a strong league.
Oh, League One is a very, very strong league. I mean, the whole EFL is strong. I mean, there is no parallel to it in any other country in Europe. Of course, the fact you were up there last season proves you're strong enough to mix into them. And there are players that have played. I mean, just speaking to JJ there, what a player. I mean, what an outstanding player he is. Stockdale is still a very, very good goalkeeper. So too is Ryan Allsop. And I go through the team, and the ones that have come on, like Piezu up front, will only have benefited from playing a season in the Championship. I'm not saying you're going to walk League One, but of course you will be among the teams that I would expect to be up there vying for promotion back. And that was the idea of my question to David, was that, if things go against you and you do go down, or when you go down, it's important to get a really good run and momentum and feel good around the club, so you start next season right on the front foot, getting those wins will get you promoted.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a perfectly fair question. And it's so great to have journalists who can ask that question, because obviously sometimes in the club, we're not able to pose those questions to our own players. So listen, Moose, we take on Norwich today. Norwich flying high at the top of the league. I've personally been so concerned about the bottom. I've not really paid much attention to what's happening at the top. Are they worth their place at the top of the league? Are they playing free-flowing Premier League standard football?
I wouldn't say it's been free-flowing in Premier League standard, but they are the best team in this league and they will win this league. You speak to anyone at Norwich, they'll tell you the phrase I hate in football, taking each game as it comes and what have you. They don't need to take each game as it comes. They will win this league. I mean, unless they get absolutely ridiculously complacent, they will win this league. And they're a good side. The goalkeeper, Tim Krul, the outstanding. Max Aaron's linked with it, Bayern Munich, terrific player. You look at midfield, they've got Emi Buendia, they've got Todd Cantwell. Pookie has scored goals in this league 2 years ago, in the Premier League last year, and in this league again this year. They've got power throughout the team. This is a really good side. This is the best side in this league, and I've seen a lot of teams towards the top. I think there are some very good sides towards the top. I mean, Brentford are a very good side. Watford should be actually second in the league when you look at the players they've got on paper. But this is a free hit for you today. You go out there today and you win. Wow. 2 wins in a week, suddenly, even I will ask David Stockdale to stay up. If you lose today, don't get down about it. This is the best team in the league, and it's I think a free hit today. Games like this one today and Watford on Wednesday are important because you want to try and get points, and teams around you at the bottom are still losing. Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham, Birmingham, Coventry, Huddersfield. There is a real fight to be had. So you have got to pick up points, but I do think today the players can go out there and relax, and if they relax and put in the performance they did the other night against Reading, they'll give Norwich a big scare today, definitely.
It's a notably unpredictable league, the Championship. I mean, we've seen recently Bristol City were plummeting like a stone. Nigel Pearson managed to get them a win. Yesterday, QPR again were rising and they got beat. How do you see the next couple of months going there, Moose? Are you expecting any big surprises? Any teams to surge up the league? Talk us through how you're feeling it might go.
I think it's Norwich to go up plus one of Brentford, Watford and Swansea. Playoffs will be whoever's left plus Bournemouth. I think Reading will drop out now. I really do. Cardiff on a great run. Barnsley. I mean, what a story that is. The job that Valerian Ismail is doing at Barnsley is just incredible. Maybe Bristol City can get back involved, but they're a fair way off the pace right now. At the bottom, I think it's 3 from 6, and the 6 that I've mentioned, Huddersfield, Coventry, Rotherham, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday, yourselves, and I think that it will be 3 from those 6. And if you can put in the performances you did the other night and get results they did the other night, then perhaps the greatest of great escapes is possible.
Now, if you don't follow Moose on Twitter, he's well worth a follow simply because of the wanders down memory lane every morning as he finds someone else. It's pulls up all the birthdays. So when it's, I don't know, Todd Cantwell's birthday, he'll have a photo with him and his mate Todd Cantwell. Darren Bent's birthday, exactly the same. Moose, I want to know, how many photos of you and pros and ex-pros do you have on your phone? Do you have the biggest iCloud account going?
Photos on my phone. How many do you think I've got on my phone?
I would hate to guess. I mean, the random shouts that you manage to put up every morning of you with different players, you must have, over 5,000.
Keep going.
Over 10.
Keep going.
15.
Well, at this rate, we won't reach the number before kickoff. So I'll tell you. Currently on my phone, I've got 82,000 pictures. I also have a little storage device at home for pictures that were pre-2013.
And the talent, the skill, how fast your fingers must be in pulling those up. I mean, it's really remarkable. So I love it every morning when I wake up and see you with another star.
But today's birthdays include Lee Carsley, so I'll have a picture of him later. Moise Keane, who's at PSG, I'll have a picture of him later. But yeah, I mean, I make sure that I know roughly where these pictures are when I had a picture taken with the person in question, and I try and pick a nice picture that will have him smiling, hopefully.
Awesome. Moose, is it just you on comms today?
We've got a whole team here, actually. We've got James Fielder, we've got Sam Parkin, we've got Tony Vincenzo, and then I'll be grabbing some of the players and managers afterwards for some interviews, so you'll be able to see them on my Twitter feed. But big, as I say, big shout out to everyone here. I mean, from your owners, your players, right down to Matt Cecil, who leads the media team. You know, everybody here. I love coming here, and believe me, whichever division you're in next season, I'm hopefully going to be here on a regular basis.
Amazing. Well, Moose, thanks so much for joining us on Chairboys Live. I'll see you soon, mate.
You asked the mascot. You didn't ask me for a score prediction.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know where your flag lies. Give us a score prediction, Moose. And what's your favourite book?
My favourite book is Trevor Brooking's autobiography, because that was the first book I really read. I don't really like reading books, and my parents knew that. And so at the age of about 10, they bought me Trevor Brooking's autobiography.
Fantastic.
It didn't have pictures in it, so I had to read that. Score prediction day, Norwich to win 4-0.
Why do you make me ask you when you're going to bring that onto Chairboys Live, Moose?
You asked me the question. I'm answering the question. All right, I could lie. 2-1 Wycombe.
There you go. There you go. From the pundit's own mouth, from the experts, Wycombe to win 2-1. Cheers, Moose.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Yeah, well worth a follow just to see what random footballer he's got a picture with every single morning. Thanks so much to Moose from TalkSport for coming on Chairboys Live. Now, listen, very quickly before we go, let's have a word from the gaffer. Let's see what he's been saying to journalists throughout the week.
This train is up and running, and at the moment, the way we're playing, I wouldn't like to get in the way of this train. It's really motoring. We've found plenty of mojo. We've got our injuries back. I think having 3 of our players injured for the first half of the season, in Gape, Tafazoli and Ikpeazu, all big players for us, 2 big summer signings. You know, I don't think another club has signed their two biggest players they signed in August, didn't feature till late December. I'm not sure there's another club had that luck. But again, I'll ride that luck and I'll make sure that we come out fighting and swinging in every single game. I've got them back now. No, nothing to grumble about now. 15 games to go. Let's have it. No, a real tasty encounter, you know. And I make a joke that you may be on the TV because they're expecting to see goals, and you never know. That might backfire a little bit on the TV. We'll see, because we are definitely in a good place at the moment. We feel like we can take anyone on at the moment. We've got a real energy about this place and nothing to lose. Let's head for that line. Let's see how close we can get to that line and see if we can get above that line. That's our mantra at the moment. Nobody's dressing this up as anything else but a great escape story from day one back in September. That's all we've been billing it as, and we've never lost faith here. We have never ever lost faith, even though we've been written off 2-3 weeks ago and 7-2 against Brentford. People were probably saying that's Wycombe down. I'm thinking that people might be. Not saying we're staying up, but thinking, you know what, Wycombe might be able to do a few teams favours here, because we certainly did a few teams favours at the top on Tuesday, and I'm sure some of the other teams will be hoping we can peg Norwich back as well. But it's a tough game, Tom, you know, and I'm really looking forward to it. But these are the games we got in the Premier League, in the Championship. Well, these are the games we came up for, and it is. Premier League side almost that we're playing Sunday. So yeah, looking forward to it. The gap's got bigger. The referees are different. The game is different from when I played in the Championship. And I was lucky enough to play the majority of my career in the Championship, and the game has got so much different, with the refs, with the technical ability, with the physical aspects. I always was top notch at the physical stuff. Always. There was no one who was going to run more than me. There was no one who was going to be as quick as me, and giving all I could, courage and fitness and all those things that probably you can't teach. That was what made my career. I may struggle nowadays because those things seem to be being done down by the referees a little bit, and also the technical side of the game is coming through so much, you know. And I was struggling with my left foot. never mind anything else. So maybe I would have been just a struggle in the Championship, but I was lucky enough to play a few seasons in the Premiership as well. But it was just, I think that the game has moved so far from those days 10 years ago. I really do, and it's a fantastic sport. It's a brilliant product, but I also think I'd love to keep some of the some of the traditions of football, which, you know, some of these tackles sometimes and some of the physical side I miss. You know, I do miss. I think, but it's probably me being an old-fashioned tough player. You know, the other two teams that came down with them, Watford and Bournemouth, I think probably gone through a bit more change than, well, definitely gone through more change than Norwich. Norwich have kept consistent. They've kept Daniel Farker. They've kept the squad very, very similar. Whereas the other two teams, a little bit of change in there. And I think that on a consistency side, Norwich are performing as they did in the Premier League. And I think that shows. You know, the 10-point gap now is quite something to have at this stage of the season. And again, Daniel Farker, what an absolute gentleman. You know, he's top guy. He's top guy, and I think to be having him at Adams Park, to stand on the same sideline again as all these managers this season, very humble guy. I am, you know, honoured to have a chance to manage against these guys, and you know, we have a chance of doing something against them with the form we're in at the moment, and to do that would be awesome. But I think Norwich are probably the best side in the Championship at the moment, although Brentford did hit us for 7. So Thomas Franks will probably be reading this, having a little giggle.
There you go. Lovely to hear from Gareth Ainsworth. Before kick-off, 13 minutes away. Just quickly before I leave you, general consensus seems to be Man City away back in 1998, doing the double over them that season when Man City and us were in the same league. Amazing how times change, isn't it? And now we're only one league away. These things are crazy. Seems to be there. The consensus is that that's the greatest upset in the history of the club. Fingers crossed we can write another one today. Top versus bottom. Wycombe take on Norwich. Season ticket holders, you can watch it on iFollow. Everyone else, it's on Sky Sports. 12 minutes till kick-off. We will leave you there. Thank you very much for watching another Chairboys Live. Come on, the Chairboys. Let's have the upset.